Hello, I'm Nancy Perlman, here on the island of Langkawi in Malaysia. As the first designated green hotel in this Southeast Asian country, the Frangipani Langkawi Resort Spa has developed over 200 ways to be ecological. Stay with us on this edition of Eco News as we take an eco walk around the facilities, as well as enjoying an organic dinner. And there is also time to enjoy the beach and the rainforest. With me is the Group Managing Director, Anthony Wong. He is also an adjunct professor at the University Utara, Malaysia, in their College of Arts and Sciences. He holds an honorary master's in sustainable tourism from the University Utara, Malaysia. He is an adjunct professor at Event, Taylor's University, and is honorary consul general for the Republic of Cote d'Ivoire. He is head of the Asian Overland Services Tour and Travel, the AOS Conventions and Events, and the AOS Training Center, as well as AOS Consultancy Services, and for the Frangipani Hotels and Resorts. Welcome, it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
You have been involved in environmental issues for over 40 years.
Yes.
How did you get started, and why have you created this eco resort, this green hotel?
When I started as a student, I was a mountaineer. And when you could climb mountain, you learn about plants and animals and birds and how to preserve the environment. I started this company in 76, Asia Overland, specializing in tours into nature.
This resort was built in 1991,
Yes.
but I know that you have made a lot of renovations and you've made the place sustainable.
We took over the resort in 2005, and I told all my staff I'm going to make this the greenest hotel in the world. But we start with Malaysia first.
And you have achieved that.
Yes, we have achieved that with over 200 ways to say. And what the plants you see today were not there in 2005. More than thousands of plants.
But they're all native species.
Many of them are native species. Like this tree is called neem, origin from India, Pakistan and Bangladesh. But they're all over Asia, especially arid zone. It's found in a dry area. They're used for shampoo, they're used for skincare, they're used for soap, they're used for toothpaste, they're used for making rope, fire, greasing gears, so many things. I mentioned about cooling the temperature of the chalet using plants. So this plant is called golden rod. It's very lush. It cools the room down because it grows over the sun garden, the sunshade, where people sit on the balcony. But what is very interesting is a lot of birds make the nest in there, and people like to sit and watch the birds. Mangoes are the most freshly eaten fruits in the world. We have got about 35 mango trees. How we put manure to the mangoes, all the chicken, animal remains, fish, chicken, we bury them 2 feet down. And it'll take about a year, it becomes vitamins or fertilizer for the mangoes and all the fruit trees. So they produce bigger, fatter fruit. They're all organic. No chemicals is used on the whole resort.
Inside the cabins, I've noticed that you have the bathroom with a door so that you don't have to air condition that when the room is air conditioned, and that saves a lot of energy.
Plus, when people shower outside, they use less water, and when they're outside, they don't turn on the light during the daytime. If you're inside, you tend to turn on the light. So less energy, less water. So there are many ways of saving. When we took over the hotel in 2005, the sand was white till the side of this coconut tree. Everything was sand because there was a beach cleaner with a tractor that cleaned the beach. I said, please, was a beach cleaner with a tractor that cleaned the beach. I said, please do not clean our beach here. I will clean it. What I was trying to do is to let nature do its job. So now it's already 9 years. You can see morning glory and grass growing out to the edge of the water.
You have a program where guests can adopt a tree,
Yes.
and then you plant it.
Yes.
You let them know about it every year
Every
so
year
that
we'll
they stay
send-
connected to Malaysia.
That's right. We send it every year. We take the picture of the tree and we send it there, and they're very pleased that the tree is still there.
And it's serving a wonderful purpose as it gets bigger. This coconut tree
We get
will have
free-
coconut.
That's right. And cool the temperature down of the resort.
How important. And it restores the beach.
That's right. And it holds the soil together. The solar hot water, you can see the panels on top. There are 4 panels. All the rooms have got the solar hot water. They are not electric but hot water. Yeah, we have actually reduced energy by 30% kilowatt hour using natural light. We have many trees here. This is sitting on 10 acres. So we have about 200 spotlight, but I make my own spotlight. Energy saving light with an aluminum foil and a plastic globe. Spotlight is 80 watt to 200 watt. My spotlight is only 9 watt. Using air conditioned condensation, 1.5 days, I have a 5-gallon container full of water. So we collect the condensation from the aircon and we use this to water the garden. So, and water is really short of from December to April. We have almost no rain. So condensation is very important for us because humidity is over 80 to 90%. So this is way of getting water with 115 rooms, so we got plenty of water every day just for the garden from aircon condensation. When we renovated the hotel in 2005, the toilets, the flooring, there were a lot of waste tile. So instead of throwing it away, I make them into pathway. So this was one of the pathway. So some of them are just plain concrete, and these are the new pathway. So instead of wasting it into landfill, you reduce your concrete. This is a morning glory family plant. Why it's growing all over the sunroof of the chalet is because when I protect them from the sun, it's an insulation. It will bring the temperature down 2 to 3 degrees. Instead of just the sun directly hitting the room, so a lot of the chalet has got plants growing over the side, is to reduce the temperature of the room so the users less aircon, save money. Come, I want to show you the toilet here. We save 1,000 bottles here. Reuse of bottles. Now people, there is no use of bottle on this island. There are millions of bottles in the waste dump. So we're trying to creative way of using waste bottle, and this is one of the way. And it's the design of the toilet, natural airflow from the top, lots of air coming in. So far 4 years, we don't have fungus growing into the basin because of the natural airflow and natural lighting. You see, we've got made ammonia tiles made of transparent plastic. We have 2 pools because the other pool where it's near the restaurant, you have lots of kids there and it can be quite noisy for couple. So this side is more couple, but this is a saltwater pool. Saltwater pool is much better for your skin and it uses very little chlorine. You still have to put a little bit of chlorine, and the water is filled by rainwater, and we treat it with rock salt and a little bit of chlorine. The salt is only the saltiness of your eye drop, so you can swim for an hour, your eyes won't get red. Yeah, in a chlorine pool, within 5 minutes or 10 minutes you get red eyes, and it's not good for the skin.
You say that these miner birds are common, but they are not to us.
Yes, true.
They like to come by the resort?
They are almost like scavengers. Every morning they have breakfast with our guests because they pick at the food, but we have to chase them away. But actually they clean the place. I have a little farm behind. I have chicken and ducks. You find that there's no flies around because they will pick at the flies.
A helpful bird.
Yes, that's right.
Natural.
It's how you look at stuff.
Pesticide.
That's right, that's right.
This here is the pumpkin plant. We have got one here growing. It's about time to harvest. And if you see here, these are the little pumpkins coming up.
The gooseberry tea was delicious. You actually came here and
Yes.
picked your own gooseberries.
So this is gooseberry. It's very healthy. It's anti-aging, anti-cancer, good for your eyesight, hair, and diabetic.
Ian Lim is the executive chef, and you are making delicious food from organic food that you actually grow here in this garden.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
The hibiscus makes a tea,
We do tea.
and you are showing us that even in the kitchen, you recycle the oil.
We have 7 bins, yeah, including the waste cooking oil. But important is because the kitchen has got the most waste going in and out, we do not throw any organic waste away.
And you have solar panels.
The kitchen use a lot of hot water, correct?
Yes.
Yes. And we save by using solar hot water. That is free.
And the energy waste actually heats the pizza oven.
Yes, definitely. And also that is the hottest part of the kitchen, and we do our defrosting on the pizza oven.
I'm looking forward to dinner.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
This is a staff kitchen. We have here energy and water use. So every year we compare 2013, 2014, whether we have saved the energy or we have. So when we have saving, there is a big smile here. If no saving, there is a frown. So here, energy, water. So we can see how much water use, 2013, 2014. Because it was very dry, there is a lot of water use. So we managed, there was a bit of rain, we use rainwater, and again we save. We have got almost 500,000 of liters of rainwater harvesting, including from more than 100 tanks, and we have got some underground water tanks, rainwater, yeah, to use for the garden. I opened up the bottom of the wall, you can see, so natural air comes into the kitchen. I reduce the temperature of the kitchen by 3 degrees by natural airflow. And the hot water is used by solar hot water. So the kitchen uses a lot of hot water. So we can use solar hot water, and to make it more efficient, you can see this, I use a shower head, so you can wash more instead of just one spout. Normally food is always from the freezer, you have to put in the heater, so I put it on top of the pizza oven. So the pizza oven is hot all the time. You can see there are 7 separation bins. Why 7? Paper, glass, metal, plastic, 4. And then we have got rice I feed to the ducks, bread I feed to the fish, vegetable I compost them for fertilizer. So, once you separate, it is a resource. I reduced the lighting of the kitchen by 60% by turning off all the fluorescent and using energy saving lights, pulling down. Part of the kitchen is the waste oil. So I'm going to show you a very dirty part here, how we treat the waste oil. All it is taken out and then the oil will float up. Normally you use a scoop to take out the oil. It tends to be filled with water. So what we do, we put it into this container where water will be below and the oil will float up, and we will open the plug to take out the water. So we only collect the oil. Most of the time, this is causing pollution of the river and the sea. So you need to really clean the waste oil every day in the kitchen. You can't clean it once a week or once a month because this overflow will go into the drainage and the river system. This is where all the wastewater, you see all these tanks, these are the septic tank, the old system. So all the waste will come through here, but the septic tank doesn't work anymore. But I'll show you what we do. Yeah, these tanks are no more working because when we came in, they were all full of stones. So now this is, come I'll show you the raw sewage. This raw sewage, we'll pump it to the front, channel to the front of the pond. Raw sewage coming in, and it goes through. Now because dry season, we install a deep water well, yeah, 100 feet down, and we stop it for a while and you start again. So we have it running because during the dry season, for 4 years, everything dry up, so the plants die and they do not do the work. So what we do is, the first part, the sediment settle down and it will flow down. It will be treated by the water plants. I'll show you the water plants. The first water plant that is in the water is called water mimosa or touch me not. This is the traditional mimosa where you touch it, it will close. Yeah, it will close. But the one in the water will do similar, but they are much bigger and they are edible. But here when you're treating the wastewater, we don't eat them. They take heavy metal out. Yeah, and the microbes are living under the roots of the plant. So the microbes are actually doing the work. 90% of the work is not the plant, but it's the microbes that's living in the roots of the water plant. The second plant that is there is sort of dried up. It's called cattail. Cattail, again, heavy metal. Different type of plants work in taking off different nutrients from the wastewater. To the plant is nutrient. To us is chemical. It is poisonous material. Now this is the mimosa that I mentioned. That again, it closes. It doesn't have thorns. It's edible. Yeah.
This looks like a bird of paradise.
Yes. It is the family of the ginger, and it is also a water plant, and it's used to treat against heavy metals. Yeah. So all these plants, what you see, it can be for your garden, for your room, but nature has a use for it. The other one is like a potato. Again, it is used for taking, when it's flooded, neutral or heavy metal from the water. Why I say heavy metal? Because copper, iron, these are things that you cannot filter. toxic to human. So you need to have the plants to take it out. Yeah, they will convert with the microbes. They will convert to plant food, and it's absorbed by the plant.
You can smell this? Will it smell like ginger?
The least you can smell is aromatic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Another plant for heavy metal is vetiver, origin from India. Now with the last plant here, where you can see some ducks there, it's called water hyacinth. Water hyacinth is very well known. It's one of the fastest growing plant in the world. In 2 weeks it doubles up. We have to put a net there to control its growth, so that they will overtake all the other plants in the pond. Now that one is good at heavy metal. You have about 6 different water plants now. Pandanus, mimosa, cattail, the bird of paradise, the ginger family. You've got water lily, water hyacinth.
And the ducks love it.
You got vetiver. Now all these plants have now treated the water to almost class 1. It's class 1 water, 99% without bacteria,
No chemicals.
no
The
chemical,
plants
no heavy
do
metals.
the job.
Now I will show you technically. You can almost drink, no smell. Yeah, no smell.
Healthy,
Yes.
clean water, processed,
Natural.
treated naturally with plants, and the ducks are enjoying
Yes.
themselves.
The duct is to provide oxygen for the fish and the plant. So instead of using an aerator where you use energy, the ducks swimming in the water produce the oxygen for the fish and the plants.
This proves that it's been tested, that the water is clean. You don't need chemicals. You can do it naturally. You check it
Every
very
6
often.
months, and here it shows you what it says. pH value, BOD, COD, such as mercury, cadmium, chromium, arsenic. Now all this is A. When you have all A, that means class 1.
That's what you want.
Yeah, and always I wouldn't dare to sort of taste the water in my mouth without this chemical check. Yeah.
Over 30 different tests
Yes.
to be sure that we're getting clean, healthy water.
That's right.
And you talk about which
Yeah, all the
plants
different
do
plants are
their
down here.
work for you.
Correct.
Free!
Correct. Free.
My name is Raida, and this is Dema. She's my officer, and both of us take care of the environment of the resort. So we are at the nursery, and here we use recycle bathtub, gutters, even milk cartons to plant our plants. And this is the winter gourd. And for this compost, we use fruit peels also, plus dried leaves to become a compost, and we use in all our resorts. Once we upgraded our room, we took out all the bathtub, we changed it into tropical showers, and now the bathtub are used in our nursery. So these are corns, some that's paddy, that's sabah snake grass. These are the bottles that we keep because in Langkawi it's an island. They will recycle plastic bottles, aluminum cans and papers, but to transport the bottles to the mainland is very costly. So everybody sends to the landfill. In here, we don't send the bottles to the landfill. We're going to build a bottle wall as our border. The most important thing is we can show people that they can be creative, that they can use our way to reduce the bottles at the landfill.
Over here we have the gutter from the roof. So we use this to plant our chili over here.
Our compost area. So we have dried leaves, plus fruit peels and vegetables, and we compost it, leave it for like 6 months. And we also mix with eggshells, because eggshells give calcium to the plant. And then we sieve the compost where we use for our nursery and our resort.
A lot of people would dump all this to the waste dump. But because being an environmentalist, we find ways to reuse all these things. It's what you call a closed loop system.
It's wonderful that the resort is educating the visitor about environmental sustainability and how important it is to recycle. They have a zero plastic waste policy. It's wonderful. We don't see it around.
Every month, every year, I expand the knowledge, research and experiment to get more ways to save energy, water waste, recycle and plant more food in the hotel. Nancy, I'm really glad that your team stayed with us.
The Frangipani Langkawi Resort and Spa here in the northwest part of Malaysia offers excursions into the rainforest, boat trips to mangrove forests along the coastal islands, and organic food in their restaurant. I look forward to returning for a relaxing vacation at this green hotel here in Southeast Asia. On behalf of our nonprofit organization, Educational Communications and Eco News, I'm Nancy Perlman, wishing you a natural, unspoiled environment.